Alright, Michael, here's your first video. I'm going to go ahead and just let you run it. Watch you running there. Again, we're looking at that center line. We look at your hips, we look at your arms. See how high and tight you are. Leg action looks really good, by the way. Just a little bit of that crossover. Okay, so again, when we look at this slow down in motion, we're going to center this line up on you. And right there, we just want to, in that float phase, we want to have a nice 2-inch gap there in between feet. You come down, you're just on the midline there, so that's not too bad. The leg's pretty straight up and down, but we could be a little better. Right there, your angle measured 4.4 degrees of pronation off 180, so that's insignificant. There's no pronation, basically. As we come up here with your right leg, you can see we cross, and because of your crossover on this pronation, you're 11 degrees. Okay, so we don't want to go over 8, but it's not really that you're pronating, it's just that you're coming in, and if you keep coming in, that number would go higher and higher as far as the angle of degrees. So it gives you 10.9 right there, basically. Okay. So that's the big issue right there, is just, you know, the wider stance. You see this one, it comes in, and then you can see a little bend now in the foot because you're coming over. The way that this hip, you know, remember this hip comes out of the socket right here. It comes there over to here, and we want this thing to be straighter up and down as far as the angle, because the hip, your basically outside muscle called your tensor fascia lata, is IT band, your gluteus muscle, all those can be torqued out a little bit. The farther you go over here, this angle inside changes, and it puts too much stress on the anterior shin splints, which is the soleus muscle. Okay, so when we looked up at your hips are pretty good. You come up in the air, you hit the ground. You can see that once you get full weight, you lean 6.2. So your right hip was weaker than your left. You see your angle. We come up to the left leg, we hit the ground, and you can see basically even almost. You can just see the shirt doesn't tip as much as the other one. You see that's about all you get, which is perfect. So sometimes people are like that, one hip stronger than the other. And so we want to work on your lateral hip stuff, which we'll send the pictures. Your arms, when you look at your arms, you just look like you're holding them tight. You're keeping that real strong bend in the elbow, which is okay, but bring them closer to your body, relax your shoulders, and then again, don't let them rotate back and forth. So you see the rotation of the shoulders, too much. We want to keep the trunk straight. Look down at your chest when you run and just pump the arms. Keep your core strong. That's a lot of lateral work in your abdomens, like planking, but you can really see your rotation of your shoulders. See that? So, and you just look like you're really tight up here. You've just held them in too much tension. Let's go to your other video for you. I'll pause you. Okay, Michael, here's your side view. We have the gravity line there right between your ears and nose. It could be on your hips if you were told me you're a professional runner, but not bad. Again, look at the guy behind you on his lean. You know, you're just slightly, you got your nice level feet. You got great bend in your quad at impact. Really strong runner, excellent. That's a hard thing to teach, so you already do that. That's fantastic. If you were to strike out here in front of you, even though you're flat-footed, which is perfect, that's how you want to strike. If you were to strike out, which you strike right there, that's where you really strike. So watch the compression of your shoe. See that? That comes off. So this line, if I draw it, you want it to be in front, well in front of your face. And if you draw it right here, it is almost even with you. Okay, it's just slightly in front. You'd like it actually angling in front. So if I drew you right there, do you see how that changes the angle? That's where you should be at impact. You're just about an inch or two out in front. Part of that is because you're standing straight up and down. If you learn to not bend at your back, but just let the run gait happen behind you. So watch me do a drawing tool. So when you do a gait, and you're right here, you want this gait to be here, come up, and drop into here. We don't want to be from here like that. Okay, you learn the pitch of the running, your pitch is going to be angled kind of like that. That's at speeds you're going to go, that's fine. The way you stand up is like somebody that runs maybe a 12-minute mile, but you don't do that. So um, that's not good. Okay, so let's see what you look like here. As far as your arms, you can kind of just see that how tight up toward your shoulders you're carrying everything. You just got to let those shoulders come down. You're going to lose some oxygen by pulling on your trapezius and scalenes, called your accessory breathing muscles. So see, you just stop right here. It comes forward with your body. See that? Not your arms. So there's a little bit of that natural, but let your arms drive forward. Let them come a little bit lower. Don't hold them up so tight. It's going to be your biggest nemesis to learn to relax. So you're going to have to spin some running techniques. You'll go about 2 minutes or 2 seconds, and then it'll tighten up, and you got to tell yourself, relax, and you'll get it. Everything else is really good. You got a good bend in your knee. There's a good strike right there, about mid-strike there. So remember, just want to learn, if your eyes look down, you shouldn't be seeing your toes, peripheral, or if when you look about 10 feet right off to here, you shouldn't see your feet. So run underneath you and try maybe a shorter gait at first while you're healing. Okay, let's go to your next video, your secondary ones.